president is serious? Of course, he's not, because if you look at the 7 scandals we have raised, actually 6 falls within the office of the national executive. Out of the 7, the one by parliament is the one which falls within the presidency. So you can see, outside the president. So which means actually the national government is part and parcel of this conundrum of corruption in the country. And therefore, what we want to do, because also this issue of extortion by members of parliament and other legislators, even at the county level, is a national phenomenon. We are also exploring further research and investigation into this. Of course, as we have said in our statement, it is a public position, but we want to establish more data about it. Because apart from what we are calling conflict of interest, and also gaining advantages of others, it compromises actually oversight institutions, because it is the National Assembly, the Senate, and the county assemblies which are responsible for oversighting the national executives and also county executives, the presidency, and also the governorship. So it's a bigger crisis of public finance accountability, which we have to get into.
My name is Kawive Wambua from the Inuka Kenyans organization. And I want to take the question on whether this law will apply retroactively or not. I think the basic thing we should say about this country is that we are not in want of laws. We do not have a problem with the legal infrastructure that we have in this country. Number one, the Integrity Act, the Act of Integrity of Public Officers stipulates clearly some of the things that are captured by this law. The Constitution, the chapter on leadership and integrity, talking about opening of accounts abroad by public officers, talking about personal enrichment. Article 174, talking about devolution and the objects of devolution, clearly states what public resources should be utilized for. So this law comes as an icing of the cake in terms of particular legal provisions for especially prosecutions of people who have been found wanting in terms of the exercise of official functions. And the ESCC, we have said clearly in the statement, is that the ESCC has been sleeping on the job. When they say they want to be invited to investigate, why were they created in the first place? The cases that have been forwarded to the ODPP that have never been investigated, that have never been finalized, also points to the weaknesses in terms of functionality of public institutions. And we are saying that this law should become like a catalyst, something that ignites the fight against corruption in our public institutions. The fact that all of us know that getting to become a member of parliament, getting to get into the executive is the quickest route to becoming rich. That's why our politics are so vicious. Because you get into parliament, you are able to get access to public resources, to get your hand into the public purse. If you become the president, you can be able to control so many millions, becoming a governor, etc. So we are saying the greatest problem that we have had was created actually by the Democratic Commission of 1971 and 1974 session of paper, which this law has reversed. We have spent from 1971 to now is how many years? About more than 50 years in the wilderness, saying that public officers can do business with public funds. And this law has come to say, no, we can do better. And that's the spirit which we want to apply in the implementation of this law. And that's why today we are saying, let us start off with the gas to the energy. to reform our public infrastructure. Thank you.
Adding voice to the sentiments given by my colleagues, one on the issue of the allegations of extortion by MPs. If the president is serious, he will present the evidence that he has, because he seems to have evidence that he says can, as a next step for him would be that those MPs that are culpable will be arrested. So if he has evidence, we hope that he has already provided it to the investigating authorities. If he hasn't, we expect that he will provide that evidence so that thorough investigations can be made. And then anyone who's found culpable, both the bribe giver and the bribe taker, should then be processed in a court of law. That is what we expect. And we challenge him to take further action rather than making the public statements. As I said, the public statements will remain mere allegations aimed at playing to the public gallery as we see it. On the issues around whether we are just stopping at making recommendations or statements, I think as my colleagues have said, we have time without number, taken some of these issues that we have raised further to court. And I can perhaps even share another example, is that as part of the National Integrity Alliance, based on the concerns that we have on misuse of public resources, one of the things that we have done, and we'll be going to court this week, is to seek to stop the construction of a church in State House. Because, as we said, this is very troubling for us, that one can attempt to construct a multi-billion shilling church in State House. This we believe is a private initiative by the president, but then he's using public land. And then this then raises very fundamental questions about the misuse of office and public assets for personal religious interests. If this is not conflict of interest, what is it?